It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
NBA on 2K Sports, Ernie Johnson with colleagues Shaq and Ken Smith. Our coverage tonight from Target Center as the Minnesota Timberwolves will be playing against the Orlando Magic. Well, for Orlando, playing under 500 basketball over the last 10 games, they can do better, and they'll try to get on the winning side tonight. It's been said that Karl Anthony Towns is the prototypical modern big man in the league. There's no doubt that he's a star with all the potential in the world, but would you guys agree he represents the future of that position?
You know, I like him, one, because he's from Jersey. Then he can play inside and outside. He's lengthy and strong, but he's very mobile, agile, and fruitile.
His skill set is coveted by every player.
Fruitile?
Oh, no question.
I got that
What's fruitile?
I got it from Dick Vitale. I don't know.
Fruitile?
I heard Dick Vitale say it.
What does fruitile mean?
Fruitile is like it's fruitful, but it's got a lot of tile to it.
But it's futile as well. It's a futile fruitfulness.
Got a lot of tile to it.
It's got a lot of tile to it.
Fruitile.
That means he can lay it down. He's got a lot of tile to his fruit.
That's right, Ernie. He can lay his game down.
He can lay it down.
And his game is sweet like fruit.
I'm so out of step.
Yeah, you're not a millennial.
Almost time for the tip-off. See you next time.
The Magic are out of Orlando and into this interconference game. Thanks for joining us, everyone. It's the NBA on 2K Sports. Kevin Harlan here with Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg, and we'll have David Aldridge filling us in from the sideline. The Timberwolves hoping to give a strong showing here for their home crowd. Still early in the season, but the front office and coaching staff likes what they are seeing from this team so far. Better winning percentage than last year.
And I think for Minnesota, they talked a lot in the preseason about how they wanted to bounce back from last year's disappointment. So far, they look to be on track to do just that.
They sure do, Greg. I mean, they've avoided the bottom of the standings, and let's see if they can keep making progress as the season goes on here.
A look at the Magic starting group. Ross is the 3 with Gordon at the 4. Payton and Fournier are the 1 and the 2. And it's Vucevic in at the center, locking down the middle.
And, you know, Gorgui Dieng is a big man who can play both the 4 and the 5. He doesn't stand out on offense, understated there, but very valuable and solid and consistent. He's a rim protector and a space eater, but also a pretty effective rebounder, too.
Shot clock at 2. They get it back. Fournier against Butler. Here's Vucevic. Well, it was only a matter of time, but they finally get the bucket.
Boy, the hustle by Vucevic, I mean, showing real commitment and investment on the glass and finding ways to come up with second chance opportunities for his team. That's very impressive.
And Dieng, a solid challenger at the rim with his shot blocking. Yeah, Clark, he doesn't mind having a secondary role on a team as long as they are winning.
Yeah, you know what? He's really comfortable in his own skin and what his role is. He's got great awareness of how to help his team. Never tries to do too much on the offensive end, and he's really good at playing with any other type of big guy that the Wolves put on the floor.
That free throw good from Butler, which is experimenting here, Clark, early in the season, and they're trying to feel which rotations work and which ones don't.
Well, that's normal for coaches to tinker a little bit, especially when you've got new players and you're trying to put together a different team. So you tinker until you find what works for you, and then you look to stay with it. Ideally, you'd like to be set on your rotation probably no later than a fourth of the way through the season.
Rumors about Butler being traded from Chicago were circulating last season. Draft day comes around, and the Minnesota Timberwolves made their move, Greg, to acquire him.
Yeah, and the more you look at it, the trade looks great for Butler and the Wolves. Reunites him with Coach Thibodeau, joins an incredibly young core in Towns and Wiggins, and the sky's the limit, I think, for this young Wolves team.
Here's Fournier, lays it up and banks it in.
Really impressive seeing a guy like Vucevic carve up the defense with his peripheral vision and passing. So good at spotting the open man.
Now here's Teague. Looking at his numbers, he's averaging about 6.5 points a game. Got a hand on it. Now Ross. His last outing, 16 points for him. It's Fournier on the wing. Cans it from downtown. Fournier's got 5 now.
This is as good as it gets for a first quarter in terms of shooting the basketball.
Greg, you're exactly right. I mean, everything seems to be dropping. Impressive scoring here.
Now, here's Butler. He's coming off a 31-point game against the Hornets in Charlotte. Jang, no luck.
And that's the shot you want to create. They just can't get it to fall.
That's what I call an everything but. Good execution, just didn't knock it down. But you're right, they're happy with that shot.
Defensive rebounding, just such a crucial part of the game.
Yeah, it's finishing your defense, Greg. We know that. You can defend, then you got to rebound the miss, and you got to get to the glass with intensity.
And Evan Fournier out of France, an instinctive offensive player, Greg.
Yeah, favorite player growing up was Manu Ginobili, and you can see some similarities in their games. Fournier possesses long-range shooting, but also able to handle and put pressure on the D with the dribble.
One shot.
And that one falls for Fournier.
The worst bench in the league by net rating resided in Orlando with the Magic. It's hard enough to win without star talent, but if you're also thin on the bench, no chance. The first bucket for this offense, 1 of 4 to start the game.
And in this first quarter, about 3 minutes played. They set the screen. And Vucevic kicks to Fournier. Out to Payton. Picked by Vucevic. High arcing shot, and it's laid in by Payton. Payton's got his second basket. And you look at the roster for Orlando, where do they go next, Clark? What's their biggest need?
Well, I mean, they've got a number of needs, but an elite scorer would certainly raise the level of this team, the ability to create something out of nothing. In other words, players that can make plays for themselves or others. Those are the kind of guys that, heck, everybody wants those kind of guys, Kevin, but the Magic certainly need players of that ilk.
Timberwolves trail by 10. Teague with the ball. Outside Butler. No good. Shot missing. And it's the Magic taking it the other way. They defeated Indiana in their last game.
And the story of that game was their terrific rhythm on the offensive end.
Yeah, I thought they were terrific at getting the ball moving. Played so well together that night. Really shared the ball and looked for each other at a high level.
Here's Wiggins following the three-pointer by Orlando. Another miss by Minnesota. And it's the Magic's ball. They're on a 17-4 run. Fournier's shot is off. Teague kicks to Zhang. Back to Teague. Pass to Butler. Teague against Payton. Back to Butler. Shot clock at 5. That's good, and so Teague with the assist.
Butler not afraid of getting bodied up on the drive. I mean, he'll work right through that contact and finish at the basket.
Now here's Vucevic. He had a 12-point outing in their last game against Indiana.
And how about the block shots, guys? I mean, just overpowering on the defensive side. Really, he wasn't the intimidator.
Teague for three. And it's Orlando with the rebound.
Boy, awful defending, really. But in the end, they dodged a bullet. They can't let shooters get clean looks from outside, though.
Ross kicks to Fournier. Takes the 13-footer. That one misses. Some solid defense from Butler.
No doubt it's been a bit of a struggle for him here in this quarter in terms of scoring. And the Timberwolves, a team that is evolving how you imagine they would with Tibbs running things here. Deliberate approach on both ends of the floor and really looking to dominate the rebounding margins.
And let's quickly check out the scoring breakdown here for the Magic.
They've pounded the ball inside in the first half, forcing the D to collapse, and that frees up the shooters going forward.
They've been distributing the ball really well tonight, too. I mean, a decent number of assists so far for them.
Free throw, good Butler.
And, guys, I think Jimmy Butler has all the tools you could want in a two-way player. He's an excellent defender, and he also can score the ball from just about anywhere.
And so Butler nails both of them.
And at the line, it's all about consistency with him. His routine, his stroke, it never wavers.
It's a chance now to catch up with the fourth member of our crew, Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Well, Frank Vogel had a few minutes to share with me. He told me he's looking forward to the matchup tonight. It's their first time against this team, so he is curious to see what his guys do on offense. He said it's important that we're aggressive defensively, that we use our length and shot blocking as a deterrent inside. We'll see if they can be successful tonight. Kevin, back to you.
David, thank you. Do you think that's the right approach, guys?
I don't think it's ever wrong to focus on defense first. It sets a tone that can last for an entire game.
Yeah, that's the most surefire approach to use, guys. I mean, because they don't want to get into a shootout today. I mean, if this becomes a defensive battle, they'd really enjoy that.
Dishes to Payton. Cross on the wing, covered by Wiggins. Here's Fournier. That one wide left.
And, you know, it hasn't been his night, but his team still leads, so that's encouraging.
Teague, the pass to Jang. Fournier against Butler. Jang, a screen. Vucevic with the block.
Hey, that expansive reach of Vucevic's really helps him on the defensive end. He uses that length to really bother the confidence of shooters.
Jones checked in for Teague. Just 5 on the clock. Jones next for 2. It's hauled in by the Magic. Fournier's got his 3rd rebound tonight.
And that one gives them a +5 rebound advantage, Kevin.
Pretty clear they're dominating that area. They've come out with a lot more energy and effort so far.
Now here's Gordon. 17 points for him last game against Indiana.
And he also chipped in with a couple blocks in that game. Just a hint at the impact he had on the defensive side.
Well, you know, as the NBA continues to change, Nikola Vucevic is an interesting case study. He's got the skill level for today's game, but the question is, does he have the mobility? He's not that quick of foot, and that's been problematic for him.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
And he can't get the first one. And more than ever before, the NBA requires big men to cover a lot of ground. Vucevic looking to keep up.
Yeah, Vucevic, I think, is really a terrific rebounder and passer, and you can see all of his positives. He can score on the block, and make the three-point shot. I think it's just a matter of him consistently tying all of that together.
Clark, we've seen an influx of superb scorers in the recent draft classes. Any young player come to mind who could lead the league in scoring in a few short years?
Well, it's going to be a while as long as Kevin Durant is still playing, Kevin. I think he's the guy that can do it as easy and efficiently as anybody. But when you look at some of the young guys that may have that potential, certainly Devin Booker at Phoenix, love this young man's stroke and demeanor and toughness on the offensive end. Markelle Fultz has a skill set that screams big-time score. Those two guys of the young group would probably stand out to me.
Right, you're right. Minnesota calls timeout. They defeated Charlotte in their last game.
Executed on the road, stayed focused, stayed consistent with who you are as a team.
I love that, Greg. You got to do that away from home. It shows how connected they are with one another playing that way, and excellent chemistry.
Isaacs checked in for Vucevic. Timberwolves trail by 11. Here's Jones. There's a screen. Gibson the screen. Here's Crawford. Simmons with the defensive effort.
They've been sensational on the backboard to start this game.
Yeah, sensational is a really good word for it, Greg. They're tearing it up on the glass.
Afflalo. The rebound by Patton.
Not sure what the D was doing there. Clearly a breakdown. You can ill afford to give a guy like him that good a look.
It's good.
And I think this is where Muhammad's most dangerous. Being aggressive, attacking off the bounce. That's his strength right now.
Simmons dishes to Augustine. Afflalo against Muhammad. Spade sets a screen for Afflalo. 4 on the shot clock. Again, Afflalo missing. Minnesota's gone 0 of 2 from deep here. Guys, they're looking for a spark here.
Yeah, a cold stretch offensively for sure.
Kicks it out to Jones. Timberwolves passing it around. Here's Crawford. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2. It's going to be on Maurice Spates.
And really the defense fouling there to prevent the layup, but that's exactly what you need to do.
It is. I mean, no reason to back off and give him the layup. I mean, much better off making him go to the line.
Minnesota shooting their 5th and 6th free throws of the game.
And they've had really good numbers all season from the free throw line.
Yeah, guys, they can feel very good about themselves when you bring up those statistics. Impressive numbers.
Free throw drops for Crawford. And for the young players on the Magic, how much tougher is it to develop when a team is continually changing their coaching staff?
Well, Kevin, we've seen it. I mean, when you have multiple turnover, particularly in key front office or coaching positions, that's very difficult for the players. It's disorienting. 4 different coaches in the last 3 years. At some point, you have to set your anchor and sail accordingly.
Both free throws good from Crawford. You know, Clark, at the end of last season, the Timberwolves unveiled this new logo they're sporting this season. They felt it was time for an update, and you have to say it looks pretty sharp.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, most teams in the NBA want to mix their logo up every so often to keep it modern and up to date and fresh. The Wolves have a young group and felt it was the right time to re-examine the logo, and I can't argue with them. Sometimes a little change like that can pay big dividends.
And they come right back with their own three-pointer. Crawford's got 5.
Okay, we got a nice little back and forth going here.
Yeah, and I like it. I love seeing that. It's a lot of fun when that happens. These teams are going at each other from the outside. Got to be happy with the result, moving the ball so well on that possession. Beautiful.
Muhammad on the wing. Back to Crawford. Kicks it out to Jones. His three-pointer's off the mark.
Just doing the job on the backboard.
They sure are. I mean, they've done a terrific job carving out space under the basket and then pursuing the ball. You know, it's one thing to box out, but you've got to pursue the ball if you're going to get rebounds, and they look strong here in the early going.
Simmons against Crawford. And Simmons kicks to Spates. The basket good off the assist from Simmons. And now it's an 11-point Magic lead.
And good passing, setting up a lot of these buckets right now, Kevin. That's been the key.
Dime-dropping delights is what I call it.
Yeah, that's a nice pass. I will give you that one.
Yeah, he was on the money, that's no doubt. Orlando leading by 11. 1:49 left to play in the first quarter. And Gibson sends it back.
And Gibson just out here to play hard defense, showing great awareness coming up there with that block.
And the basket by Jones.
He's trying to get it going offensively, but right now just 1 of 4 to start.
Now here's Simmons. 14 points from him the last game against Indiana. And again, it's Orlando converting.
And already with the commanding lead, a terrific offensive performance.
Yeah, and the execution, time and time again, right on point. They're running their offense to perfection.
Jones kicks to Gibson. Back to Jones. He dishes it to Gibson. Pass to Crawford. And it's Spates with the rebound.
He is just really almost playing for the other team. The shooting has just been poor.
The Magic leading by 11. And here's Augustine. He's been patient so far. Nothing yet on the scoreboard. Aflalo outside. Spates with a screen on Crawford. Here's Aflalo. Takes a big high bounce and goes in. And the Magic lead by 13.
Starting to surge here, and we're only in the first quarter.
Yeah, and they've come out strong. I mean, clearly they've been the better team so far.
Again, the miss by Jones.
And offensively, he has been a liability more than he's helped this quarter.
Aflalo, no good.
And low percentage look on that one. Not sure what he was thinking.
I agree with you. Not a good shot, not good offense. They can get a much better look than that, but they're going to need to be patient to do so.
Augustine. And so it's the Orlando Magic. 13 points up at the end of the period. Their strategy has been clear tonight. Work the ball inside, get shots in the paint, and now they are scoring with ease. And don't go away. We'll be right back. And a guy who seems to improve every season, Jimmy Butler. He spoke with us about one of his biggest surprises.
It's crazy because I never thought that anybody would be preparing to guard me night in and night out. But they do. I have to learn to cope with that and still find a way to be successful on both ends of the floor. And it's a learning curve for me also, but I'm figuring it out.
And hard to doubt the dedication of Jimmy Butler. He's found a way to overcome obstacles at each important point along the way.
You know, he's a self-made player, and if Butler can stay healthy, boy, the sky's the limit.
Welcome back, everyone. A lopsided first quarter in the books already as we start this second quarter. And for the Magic here, they've been putting on a show, guys.
Just playing suffocating defense. That's been the difference here for them.
You know, Greg, I love watching this team get after it on defense. I mean, they play with a bit of edge and nastiness.
And now, brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset our lineups. And so, in the game for the Magic, Aflalo is out there with Isaac. Then there's DJ Augustine. Then it's Simmons. And it's Spates in at the 5. So it's Orlando now after the basket by Minnesota. And Simmons kicks to Aflalo. Spates sets a screen for Aflalo. Minnesota with the rebound. Gibson's got 3 rebounds so far in the game. Okay, well, let's check in with David Aldridge, who's reporting from the sidelines.
Well, guys, analytics has taken over the NBA, but Minnesota coach and president of basketball operations Tom Thibodeau says it doesn't tell you everything. He said analytics can measure a lot of things, but it's very difficult to measure drive. The magic is in the work. Kevin?
And Tom Thibodeau makes a good point, D.A. Analytics is certainly helpful, but it doesn't capture everything. Oh!
Hey! Ooh, wow. Yeah, I tell you what, Kevin, once Muhammad gets to the rim, that giant wingspan just really takes over.
And that last replay, courtesy of Under Armour. Another unleashed chaos moment. Here's Spates. Not enough on that one as it misses. Timberwolves trail by 8. Here's Crawford. Passes to Patton. Lets it go. Augustine grabs the board. The Magic have gotten only one of their first 4 shots in the second quarter to drop. Ball's knocked loose. Orlando's gone 4-6 from outside the arc tonight. Spates with a screen on Jones. And Augustine kicks to Spates. And good. Coming in on the assist by DJ Augustine.
He might not have the long range ability of some other guys, but he will knock down open ones like that.
Minnesota calls timeout. Clark, when you played, did you have any superstitions or a game day ritual that you would follow?
Superstitions are a waste of time in my book, Kevin. I had none, not any. I like my pregame nap. I'd get a good pregame meal, and then it was about focusing on my assignment for that particular game and night or day. Superstitions, I know a lot of guys have them. They weren't part of my toolkit.
Whole new look on the floor for Minnesota. And it's out of bounds. Last touch by Gordon. Now let's take a look at how the shots have been divided up between 3-point shots and 2-point shots for Orlando.
They are shooting the lights out from beyond on really limited attempts. So you have to think they ought to feed those hot hands on the perimeter and see if they can keep this thing going.
Timberwolves trail by 11. Feeds it to Jang. Over Gordon. And Jang gets it to go.
Well, I like what Jang gives you with the jump shot now. Not the quickest release, but he still gets the job done with it.
Here's the screen. Picked by Vucevic. Ross for 3. And again, it's the Magic from deep.
Continuing to push the action and build this lead.
Yeah, you know, continue to pour it on them. That's what they want to do right now. Doing their best to put this game out of reach and in the win column.
And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
Yeah, I think they've got to ramp up the aggressiveness, Greg. I mean, if they don't, things are just going to get worse from here.
And there's the feed to Fournier. Gordon a screen. Ross passes to Gordon. Gordon with the screen for Payton. And the rejection by Towns.
Great timing on the block there. Towns helps affect winning in a lot of different ways.
Teague dishes to Towns. Outside Butler. He's off on that one. And Orlando will come the other way. The biggest lead of the game, 15 points. This is their first chance this season playing the Timberwolves.
And in their 2 matchups last season, they came up empty both times. Not really too shocking when you see how they fared overall.
Exactly. I mean, when you lose as much as they did last year, you'll get beat by teams that aren't playoff powers for sure.
It's a +5 advantage for them in rebounding after that one.
Here's Vucevic. And the layup's good off the glass. Vucevic has got 5 points so far.
Even with the defense right on top of him, I mean, Vucevic maintains a nice soft touch on these inside shots, and the concentration is not to be overlooked either.
Here's Towns. Solid play in the low block, and that one's good. Towns has got his first points of the night.
Nice job getting inside for the layup. Got the D thinking, jump shot, gave a little pump fake, and then off to the races.
And Fournier kicks to Ross. To the middle. Here's Vucevic. The putback and the second chance effort by Gordon.
Yeah, great hustle from Gordon using his patented vertical to sky up for the board.
T kicks to Zhang. Outside Butler. Trying to find Towns. Gets it to him. Zhang with the screen for Butler. 6 on the shot clock. Here's Teague. Vucevic with the rebound. Vucevic has got 4 rebounds now tonight. The dish now to Fournier. Some solid defense from Butler. Timberwolves trail by 14. Here's Towns. And he tries off the glass, but it's no good. For Orlando, they've gone 6 of 12 in the second quarter, right at the 50% mark from the field. Ross kicks to Payton. And the rejection by Towns. The shot's good on the assist by Butler. Towns has got 4 points now in the quarter.
Tell you what, going end to end, Towns may not always look like he's moving fast, but he's gobbling up some ground in a hurry. And some of that is his stride, but that fella's got some big feet too.
Payton passes to Vucevic. He got an advantage there off the pick and took it right in.
And of the last 6 baskets, 5 have come on the interior. This is just smash mouth physical basketball, guys.
The Magic shooting their 4th shot at the foul line here.
And you really got to give them a ton of credit for what they've done at the free throw line this season. How about 82% as a unit?
And they've increased their percentage quite a bit since last season, guys.
One shot.
This summer, a new front office taking over in Orlando after a rebuild effort that stretched back 5 seasons. Magic fans hoping they can get things headed in the right direction now.
Butler dishes to Jang. And that one's good. His second basket of 4, shooting 50%.
He's making it look easy scoring out there because he's much more efficient here in the second.
Payton kicks to Fournier. Butler with the steal. And now the Timberwolves on the break. Teague's got the ball. Wiggins passes to Butler. Over Payton. Count it, and the Orlando lead has been cut to just 11 on the basket from Jimmy Butler. And for the Magic, do you think hiring a new GM will get the team headed, Clark, in the right direction?
Well, that's a good question, but I think that's a start. And again, alignment is so key when you talk about organizational success, from your ownership through your president, general manager, coaching staff. Everybody has to be committed to their alignment and culture. Their current structure has some overlap between business and basketball operations. I think that all has to be smoothed out. But one step at a time, one brick at a time.
Now, gentlemen, 2 shots. 2 shots.
And the first one drops.
I love the complementary aspect of this group now. You know, you've got the young talent, but you've brought in some veteran leadership here for the Timberwolves. The duo of Wiggins and Karl Anthony Towns kind of gave the confidence to them to go out and acquire a superstar in his prime like Jimmy Butler.
That one falls, so he hits both of them. And Greg, the core of this Timberwolves team is Wiggins and Towns. And, you know, rarely do you get to see 2 #1 overall picks team up early in their careers.
And how about back-to-back years, no less. But I consider Jimmy Butler kind of a foundational piece as well. He's in the conversation for the best shooting guard in our league.
Here's Towns. Vucevic with the block.
And they've got a big lead, not just on the scoreboard, but really in the rebounding numbers as well.
And what I like about it, Greg, it's been a physical brand of basketball. It's had a little sandpaper element to it, gritty and rough, but that's how you win games.
Off the pick. Here's Butler. That falls. Nice feed that time from Wiggins. 14 points for Jimmy Butler.
And Butler does a nice job using his body. I mean, especially when he's close to the basket, comfortable operating inside.
And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here.
And they have yet to miss a shot from the line here this quarter.
Yeah, you have to make teams pay for fouling you. That's why they call them free, and they've done exactly that, made them pay.
For Orlando, they have hit most of their free throws tonight, 5 of 6.
Shooting 2.
That free throw, no good.
And Elfrid Payton, the 10th pick back in that 2014 draft. And remember, the Magic looked at him as their point guard of the future. And last season, at times, he was coming off the bench. And it's been about that lack of progress as a shooter that I think is the biggest concern with this team.
And he sinks the second. And for Elfrid Payton, shooting has always been his Achilles heel.
Yeah, as a defender, passer, penetrator, I think he's solid. But shooting has become so important in our league right now. He needs that perimeter shot to really have a chance to get to the next level.
Yeah, you know, not every point guard would be able to find an open man right there, but T is always looking for the right play.
Payton kicks to Vucevic. Now the pass to Fournier. Here's the three. Doesn't go that time. And Minnesota will come the other way.
He hit 1 3 in the first, but the well has been totally dry for him in the second. And really one of the quickest guards in our league. Jeff Teague just puts tremendous pressure on your defense when he's attacking the paint.
And the book on T, Greg, is to make him an outside shooter. You don't want him getting to the rim.
I mean, he's a good finisher around the rim. His outside shooting, although streaky at times, not bad, but not great either.
First free throw is good. Well, Clark, you've been in the booth for so long, but I have to ask, have you ever toyed with the idea of coaching or working in some team's front office? I know you did briefly for the Pacers.
Yeah, I did, and I enjoyed it. I was working in player relations, player development with our guys off the court, and loved it. But it just wasn't something I could sustain at this season in my life. Not interested in coaching. I've never really been, because my career path went towards broadcasting right after I got done playing, and I've paid my dues and have grown in this profession. And I would want to do the same thing in coaching, and I just don't have enough time in front of me to do that. So I'm happy to be around the game in this capacity. Coaching never lets up. I get an off season as a broadcaster.
Yes. Here's Wiggins. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. It's going to be on Aaron Gordon.
And when you see Wiggins starting to develop that mindset, that mental edge, knows he has the defender in trouble, and he's able to draw the foul as a result.
Two shots. Relax on the first.
And the first one at the line is good.
And guys, this is the way to stay in the game. They're doing a masterful job from the line. Perfect this quarter.
Here's what Minnesota's going with right now. Patton, he's checked in for Towns. Gibson comes in for Gorgie Dang. Muhammad, he's checked in for Jimmy Butler. And it's Crawford in for Teague. Then for the Magic, Isaac's checked in for Aaron Gordon. Flalo comes in for Terrence Ross. And Jonathan Simmons subbed in for Evan Fournier.
And, you know, the Magic last summer looking to address their biggest weakness, a team really desperate for more perimeter shooting to space the floor.
Three-pointer Augustine. Rebound Minnesota.
Well executed, great rhythm. You've got to finish that one.
Agree with you there, partner, because that screen really freed him up nicely, and that's a shot that if you're a pro, you need to make that one.
And with Elfrid Payton at the point, a great penetrator, but not a great shooter. And Clark, how important is it that the Magic surround him with shooting?
Well, he is terrific as a playmaker. Great size and can find people, but you've got to have shot makers. That's huge in this game because it's about making shots at some point, inside or out. And the Magic have to at least have 3 high-quality shooters on the floor with a guy like Payton. Or, hey, Payton could become a really good shooter over time.
5 on the clock. Here's Wiggins. Simmons pulls it in.
+8 in the rebound differential. One more reason why they're in control.
Yeah, double-digit advantage on the scoreboard. They've taken the initiative. They've played, I think, with more purpose so far.
Spates with a screen on Wiggins. Here's Augustine. The shot by Spates. Nobody around. Out of bounds. Minnesota takes possession.
Looking at some numbers for Simmons. How's the last month of basketball been for him? Putting up about 10 points a night, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists. And really for him, it's about putting in the work and improving his game.
Yeah, and I think he wants to. It's one of those things where you either want it or you don't, and he does.
Here's Wiggins, and denied. He sends it right off the glass. Pass to Isaac. Back to Augustine. Good ball movement here by the Magic. Outside, Simmons. And Augustine kicks to Aflalo. They set the pick. Here's the teardrop. Here's Isaac. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up. Taj Gibson picks one up.
And, you know, Isaac is not afraid of a little contact. When he's shooting, he looks for contact.
The Magic have scored 6 points from their 8 attempts at the line so far.
Now, gentlemen, 2 shots. 2 shots.
First one falls for him.
Boy, you look at Isaac, and all you think he needs to do is add some weight. And he's got terrific skills and a promising future.
Minnesota making a switch here. Jones is checked in. And so he hits both.
And Jonathan Isaac, a 6'11" small forward out of Florida State. You know, we're seeing more and more players like this with the length of a center and the guard skills. You know, you think of KD, Brandon Ingram, and now Isaac.
On the wing, Jamal Crawford. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2. And the story for Jonathan Isaac, as a sophomore in high school, Greg, he stood 6'3" and played guard. He hit a growth spurt, as you can see.
Yeah, and it makes a difference. I think what I notice most is that he's retained not just the perimeter skill, but also the fluidity. I mean, he's light on his feet and really moves well. Remember, there was another guy that was a point guard that had a nice growth spurt. I think his name was Anthony Davis.
Free throw drops for Crawford. And Greg, you wouldn't expect it from a Coach Thibodeau team, but defense was an issue for the Timberwolves last year.
And the Wolves brought in Butler to help with offense, but more importantly, his defense. And Butler, familiar with what Thibs likes to do on both ends of the floor, has the leadership the team needs, particularly on the defensive end.
And so he makes both from the line. There's 38 seconds left in the first half of basketball. Now Augustine, Aflalo with it. And Crawford picks him up defensively. And there it is for him.
Great pass that time by DJ Augustine.
Timberwolves trail by 17. Jones dishes to Muhammad. Back to Jones. Augustine with it. Muhammad with the steal. Here's Jones. And he's fouled on the shot. 1 free throw coming up.
Yeah, heard the whistle and then kept his focus and able to still knock it down.
And, Greg, to be able to take the bump like that and maintain control, that's not easy to do. I know you're kind of a little fella, but I was a big guy when I played, so I know how difficult that is. That was impressive.
I see.
One shot, mind the lanes.
And that one falls for Jones. 5 seconds left in the second quarter. Launches a 3. And so it's the Orlando Magic sitting with a comfortable lead, up by 14. Their defense has been active and effective. And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thank you, Kevin. Alfred, what's working for you guys in the first half? How did you get yourselves going?
We were able to get out and run. We're getting out the rim fast and getting out the court.
We'll see if you can keep running in the second half, Alfred. Thank you. Back to you.
Okay, David, much appreciated. And now time for halftime. So we'll be back in just a bit to get the third quarter underway.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello, folks. Welcome back. Ernie Johnson here with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. This is the halftime show on 2K Sports. Orlando had no problems getting going. Some major league offense and defense in the mix as they raced out to an 11-2 lead. By the end of quarter one, they were way out on top, leading by 13. Then in quarter number two, they actually increased their intensity to pull further out in front, finishing with a double-digit advantage at the half. What did you think, Kenny, about what we saw from the Magic?
Well, it has been an electric performance. These guys were firing on all cylinders. They came out aggressive, going after those rebounds, and they were piling it up. I think they wanted to send a message with their physicality, and they're going to be nearly impossible to stop if they're playing that way.
How about you, Shaq? What did you think about Minnesota?
Way too soft in the paint defensively. They were all late on their rotations. Obviously, that's a recipe for getting cooked. And, you know, I like eating that barbecue chicken. They got to do better, Ernie.
And that wraps up halftime as the game is set to get back underway. Let's send it to Kevin Harlan and crew, standing by courtside.
The buildings of downtown Minneapolis all lit up on this lovely evening. Welcome back, everyone, to the Twin Cities. And as we begin the second half, first half wasn't even close, guys, and we'll see if there is a comeback on our hands or more of the same as we get the third quarter started. We are seeing a tremendous game from Jimmy Butler.
And through the first two periods, it seemed he got to the paint whenever he wanted to, just a slasher's mentality.
Yeah, you know, good things happen when he cuts to the rim, Greg, and you cut into the heart of the defense like that, makes things easy.
And as we welcome you back, we begin our second half. So far, not a tightly contested game, guys, but, you know, anything can happen. Magic leading by 14. Wiggins and Jang at the small forward and power forward spots. Teague runs the point with Butler at his side. They're the backcourt. And it's Towns in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. So that's who Tom Thibodeau starts the second half with. And it's out of bounds. Last touch by Gordon. Teague against Payton. Wiggins right side. Towns kicks to Zhang. Goes back up. Vucevic with the rebound. Vucevic has got 6 rebounds in the game.
They've shown some strength in the paint today. Their work on the boards has been impressive.
Guys, that's putting it mildly. I mean, they've been absolutely dominant.
And keeping us updated from the sideline, let's swing it over to David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, Karl Anthony Towns was voted by GMs last season as the player they most want to build a franchise around. And he is not resting on his laurels. He said, I work hard on my game. I want to be the strongest player, the most intelligent player, and the most skilled player on the court at all times. Kevin?
Thanks, David. That work ethic will definitely help Towns get better. He's already a dynamite player. Vucevic is screen on Butler. Here's Fournier, and Butler sends it back.
Get that weak stuff out of here around Butler. He's so quick off the ground to block shots.
T kicks to Butler. He feeds it to Towns. Pass to Teague. Nice ball movement by Minnesota. Here's Butler. That ball's nice feed that time from Wiggins. Wiggins has got his 3rd assist on the night. To the left side wing. Payton passes to Vucevic. That's another one for him. His 5th in just 7 shots.
He is in the zone. There's a reason he keeps getting the ball. They're feeding him because they trust him to lead their team. And, you know, Tom Thibodeau is one of the most respected defensive minds in the game in the NBA. Has a great track record when he was with the Bulls and as an assistant with the Celtics.
Orlando on D. 17 points was their biggest margin. Here's Teague. And misses it off the right side of the rim. And defense, something that this Timberwolves team has struggled with prior to the arrival of Coach Tom Thibodeau. At the end of last season, they started to turn things, Clark, in the right direction.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, you figure with Thibodeau, it's just a matter of time before his team becomes one of the better defensive teams in the league, because he demands that you play that end of the floor all the time and the right way.
Back to Jang. Kicks it to T. Wiggins outside. Clock is at 3. Jang dishes to Butler. Off target with his 3. The Magic leading by 14. Payton with the ball. Picked up by Teague. Vucevic with the bucket.
It's obvious down in the paint is where Vucevic is most comfortable, just utilizing his size and strength against anybody who tries to defend him.
And the Timberwolves call time here.
Boy, and you look at Elfrid Payton. Now, he doesn't shoot it well, we know that, but boy, can he get in the lane. Excellent at penetrating. He's got a great first step and the size and athleticism to finish inside.
And here's a look now at the shot chart showing the field goals attempted locations for Fournier.
And the way they have been shooting from deep, boy, that's been impressive. Talk about making the most of your opportunities. This game would look very different if they weren't dialed in from deep. As it stands, however, they are in control, and the defense has to adjust to how they defend beyond the arc.
Timberwolves trail by 16. And Payton has that speed, but also the change of speed, which is so interesting, that herky-jerky style, getting inside.
Yeah, you know what? He's working on his up and unders, those little pump fakes and those little half shots you've got to have in your arsenal as a smaller guy inside. And I think he's looking at a guy like Tony Parker, who made a living in the lane and is on his way to the Hall of Fame at some point. And that's a good guy to mimic in that area of your game.
Ross kicks to Fournier. Gordon, the pass to Vucevic. And the rejection by Towns. Out of bounds as Orlando keeps possession. And so here's Orlando. Their defense has only allowed 6 points in the second half.
And the Stroke definitely lacking confidence this quarter. Nothing on target. And you know what? He's just not on his game. No doubt about it. Their deficit isn't totally on him, but he has not been an asset for his team.
Here's Vucevic. That's in, coming off an assist from Payton. Payton's got 6 assists now in the game.
And Vucevic not lacking for confidence at all. I mean, he has no problem popping the J once he gets the ball.
Here's Butler. No good on the shot. Great D that time from Vucevic. And Fournier kicks to Gordon. And the rejection by Towns. And here we go. Fast break. Towns has got it. And that one's good. Wiggins has got 7 points in the game.
Yeah, those shots are taken totally in rhythm. High percentage quality shots and really getting whatever he wants.
Gordon a screen. To the inside. Vucevic takes the assist and lays it in. Picked out the pass nicely. Vucevic has got 10 points in just the second half. Butler in the corner. He kicks it to Towns. It's stolen by Vucevic. Butler against Fournier, and out of bounds as the Timberwolves gain possession.
All right, a chance to check out some stats for Nikola Vucevic. His last 10 games have been exceptional. He's putting up about 14 points a night, 17 rebounds, and over 2.5 blocks. And he's such a big presence for them on the inside.
Yeah, whether it's sending shots back airmail or cleaning the glass, he's the total package.
Butler kicks to Towns. Shoots over Vucevic. And it's Orlando with the rebound. Vucevic has got double-digit rebounds now in the game. Ross dishes to Fournier. Zhang against Spates. Ross for three. Drills it from outside. 9 points in the game so far.
And that's where Ross has been most efficient. Raining it off the catch. Love it.
Wiggins kicks to Butler. Back to Wiggins. Towns the screen. Wiggins passes to Jones. Here's Towns. Gets an open look and hits.
I tell you what, it's almost like stealing to watch how he plays the game from this seat.
Payton dishes to Fournier. Passes it to Ross. Vucevic a screen on Wiggins. Here's Ross, and a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot two here. It's going to be on Andrew Wiggins. And Terrence Ross with probably his best season in 2016-17. Shot a career high from the field.
And Kevin, I think he can continue to even get better. I mean, with his bounce, I'd like to see him develop the mid-range shot in addition to his ball handling, because that's a little loose. If he tightens the ball handling up, this guy can get to the rim and become a real force offensively.
Here's what Minnesota's going with right now. Patton, he's checked in for Karl Anthony Towns. Gibson comes in for Gorgui Dieng. Muhammad, he's checked in for Wiggins. And it's Crawford in for Butler.
And guys, that's his game. I mean, battling in the paint and cashing in on those second chance opportunities.
And Greg cashing in hard. I mean, man, oh man, he puts an exclamation point on that dunk.
Yes.
Guys, that's the only way he knows how to do it. Soft, I don't even think is in his vocabulary.
There's the screen. Here's Ross. And that one is off. And it's the Timberwolves taking it the other way. Crawford kicks to Jones. Takes it into the teeth of the D and converts the layup. Jones has got his third basket of the night. Augustine passes to Spates. Magic moving the ball around. Augustine dishes to Ross. It's deflected. And now the fast break. Gibson with the ball. Oh, went in there and tried to power it down, but drew contact. He'll head to the line.
Taj Gibson is a solid role player, really one of the best we have. A good rebounder and defender with a soft touch from the mid-range and can score without having plays called for him.
Two shots.
And he makes the first. And the Magic making a change here. Aflalo's checked in. And both free throws good from Gibson. And Clark, you were around Coach Frank Vogel quite a bit during his run as head coach of the Pacers. When you look back on it, what stands out?
His preparation. He's an eager learner. He's meticulous in his detail. He's even-keeled and extremely positive. I think he's an outstanding young coach, and good to see him having a team that he can have an opportunity to build and shape into a playoff contender at some point.
It's Crawford on the wing. And the whistle blows, so a chance here for a three-point play.
Yeah, he earned that one. I mean, taking the hit and still able to get that one to go down.
Incredible, incredible body control right there. Don't know how he was able to get that one to go, but it sure was a thing of beauty to watch.
Mind the lanes. Mind the lanes. One shot.
And that one falls for Jamal Crawford. Officials have been scrutinized by players and coaches and analysts alike for as long as the games have been played. Clark, just how hard is it to be an official in the NBA?
Kevin, harder than I can really articulate. When you think about the number of calls, the speed and strength and athleticism of the players, the dimensions of the court being such a confined space for 10 extremely athletic, powerful players. All of that speaks to me in this way. The NBA officials are fantastic. Yes, they make mistakes, but all human beings make mistakes, and that human element should always be part of the game. I like technology aiding the officials, but I don't ever want to see us eliminate the human element of officiating.
And Gibson, here we go. From deep. Crawford's shot is good. Crawford's got 8 points in the quarter.
Oh, great ball movement there.
And the replay brought to you by Under Armour, the Unleash Chaos moment, giving us a better perspective on just how far behind the line he was on that 3-ball. Dishes it to Augustine. There's a screen. And a follow wide open. He shoots. And good. Coming in on the assist by DJ Augustine.
Yeah, nice vision from the little fellow there. Augustine making it easy for his teammates by finding the open man.
Crawford kicks to Jones. And out of bounds as the Magic will gain possession. Well, we like to keep you up to date on the fresh talent in the league, so let's check in on the rookie block leaders. You look at Isaac, one of the top intimidators in the league, a fierce shot blocker.
And that ability to send shots away at the rim, so highly valued. It takes guts to put yourself in harm's way and contest those finishers.
Boy, he does such a good job of positioning himself, so you have a hard time getting shots over. One of the best of all rookies denying the rim.
Here's Jones. Count the basket. Jones has got 9.
And now you see them starting to really work the ball inside.
And Augustine kicks to Spates. A minute 20 left in the third. Back to Augustine. Spates sets a screen. Augustine against Jones. But they recover it. And Gibson sends it back. Patton the pass to Jones. Here's Muhammad. They get the rebound.
Yeah, and that's a pure hustle play, getting to the offensive glass for the tip-in.
And that's the kind of quality you see in any strong offensive rebounder, isn't it?
Definitely. You're not going to make plays like that unless you expend the energy.
Pulls it up. Another miss by Orlando. Minnesota with the ball. They're on a 20-6 run. Left side, Gibson. We've got 28 seconds left in the third quarter of the game. They grab their own miss. And stolen by Spates. Simmons on the wing. He's got 5.
And low percentage look on that one. Not sure what he was thinking.
I agree with you. Not a good shot, not good offense. They can get a much better look than that, but they're going to need to be patient to do so.
Simmons missing again. Nikola Vucevic firing on all cylinders for the Orlando Magic. His production has been flowing as he's tallied 20 points and looks to be planning for more. We'll take a quick break and then back to the action here. And meanwhile, Frank Vogel talking to his team.
Okay, our offense will come and go. Okay, our defense has got to be the constant. Okay, we keep getting stops. The way we score the basketball, okay, this will be our game.
Frank Vogel driving home the idea that defense, not offense, defense is the key to taking control of the game.
Yes, the effort you put into your defense is something within your control. That's why he wants them to focus on that.
We welcome you back to what has been a good one here as we get into the fourth quarter. On the court for Orlando, Simmons is out there with DJ Augustine. Then there's Aflalo. Then there's Maurice Spates. And it's Gordon in at the 4 spot. And a moment here to take a look at the scoring breakdown for Orlando.
They keep piling up the assists, and they haven't cooled off.
Take a break. Take a break.
All.
Something we've also seen them doing tonight is getting the long ball to go down. Big points from outside.
And he knocks down the first one. And Jeff Teague coming over to the Timberwolves in free agency. Greg, the team felt he was the perfect fit.
You know, and it seemed for a while the Wolves had wanted to kind of mix things up at that point guard position. And you knew they had someone in mind when they dealt both Rubio and Dunn in the offseason. Teague was their man all along.
Spates sets a screen. Aflalo up top. Fires for 3. And good. Coming in on the assist by DJ Augustine. Augustine's got 5 assists in the game. It's Crawford on the wing. Augustine against Teague. Makes it off the glass.
Hey, Teague's not a big guy, but he's not really pint-sized. Nonetheless, impressive work for the little fella to get it done inside.
Augustine against Teague. Now here is Augustine. Not a lot of room. For the 3. And Karl Anthony Towns pulls it down. Towns has got his 6th rebound on the night.
He's still looking for his first 3-pointer of the second half after making just 1 in the first.
Magic leading by 4. Here's Simmons, and Simmons slams it in.
And nobody, guys, among the defenders stepping up to challenge him on that drive to the 10.
And Greg, he says, thank you very much, and sails in for the flush.
And those are the kind of sequences that tell you why the score is what it is.
And count it, the shot is good. He'll go to the free throw line.
And there's a pattern starting to take shape here. They're working it inside and getting good shots from close range.
Well, I agree with you. 4 of their last 5 baskets have been exactly of that variety.
Looking at who's out there now for the Timberwolves. Jang, he's checked in for Gibson. Wiggins comes in for Shabazz Muhammad. And it's Jimmy Butler in for Jamal Crawford.
1 shot, gentlemen.
And looking at Towns and what he can do on the floor already at his age is impressive. This is a guy who's going to be a 20-10 player perhaps for the rest of his career. And as young as he is, I tell you, the sky is the limit.
Aflalo goes in. Vucevic, and it's put back in by Vucevic. Vucevic has got 12 points here in the second half.
And, you know, when Vucevic gets in the zone and is rolling like this, you just have to make sure he gets his touches. Give him the ball.
Fourth quarter of play, and we're about 2.5 minutes through it right now. Towns, the screen. Here's Teague. An easy layup after coming off the pick. And when you look at the second year for Towns, it's comparable to other great big men in the history of the NBA. And Greg, I'm talking about players in the top 50 of all time.
Yeah, I mean, just on the sophomore season stats, he looks like he projects to be one of the all-time greats. Comparable numbers to some of the best who have ever played it. Think of these names: Hakeem, Duncan, Ewing, and the Admiral. Maybe we'll be saying Karl Anthony Towns as well.
Towns, the screen. And Teague, here we go. Vucevic with the block. Here's Payton. Fournier in the corner. That's in, coming off an assist from Payton. And now it's an 8-point Magic lead.
And those aren't the type of three-point opportunities that you can allow in the NBA.
You're exactly right. I mean, those come back to bite you every time, just like it's biting them now.
Follow against Wiggins, and the second chance effort by Gordon.
You know, his positioning near the hoop, always to his advantage. Just a terrific job to tip that one back in.
Teague dishes to Jang. Butler kicks to Towns. Jang with the screen for Butler. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up. It's on Elfrid Payton.
You know, sometimes the athleticism of Butler just too much for the defense. Sometimes you have to simply resort to giving up the foul on that drive.
Two shots.
No good on that one. Ross is checked in for Orlando. And he's good on the second. Now here's Payton. He dishes it to Ross. Some nice ball movement by the Magic. Kept alive. And it's Vucevic missing.
I can't explain what happened there, Kevin. I mean, he had the layup. Looked like it was a simple play. Somehow the defense threw him off just enough to cause the miss.
Butler against Fournier. Ross with a wide open look. And again, it's Orlando with the 3.
And the D has gotten a little bit laxed here defending the triple.
And Teague, here we go. Wiggins outside. Knocked loose. Ross with the steal. And here we go with the Magic fast break. Out to the right wing. Here's Vucevic. And there are the Magic with another bucket.
Got to admire the way Vucevic measures his jumpers. Just has such a nice soft release.
And here is Teague. To the paint. Here's Jang. The shot that time not on target. Gordon with the defensive effort. And Fournier kicks to Payton. The lead pass was put in just the right spot.
And they've just been so comfortable at both ends of the floor. I mean, you'd almost think they're playing at home.
Yeah, and the confidence really at a high level. Very impressive. They feel like this game is theirs, dominating right now.
It's tipped. Al Fournier, 13 feet away. Oh, offensive interference. Timberwolves trail by 16. They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need a basket.
Sinks the triple.
I like how Butler uses the screen to his advantage, makes it work for him, creating the space he needs to get the shot he wants.
Vucevic setting the pick for Fournier. Vucevic against Towns. And Vucevic kicks to Payton. Clock at 6. Shot off the pick. And the ball travels out of bounds. It was last touched by Payton.
Hey, Kevin, no idea what happened there, quite honestly. I mean, seemed like he just mistimed that pass.
Wiggins outside. Butler from outside. The putback. It's good on the putback.
And he's really shot the ball well, but it hasn't been contagious.
And it's the Magic with the ball. Feeds it to Fournier. Top the key, Ross. And stolen by Wiggins. And here we go. Wiggins heading to the hoop. And then jammed down as he goes right over Nikola Vucevic.
Spectacular move. Wiggins' elevation, body control, strength, elite across the board.
Payton outside. Gordon with a screen on Teague. Payton and the rejection by Towns. And he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. It's going to be on Aaron Gordon.
A decent free throw shooter is Wiggins, trying to become more than that, though, given how often he gets himself to the line.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
The first one falls. And with Andrew Wiggins, you know he can be deadly from mid-range, but he's seen an uptick in scoring, Clark, because he's been focusing on all the little things you need to master as a perimeter wing threat.
Yeah, you're exactly right. He has been focusing on those intangible, those small things that are big things in making a difference in how efficient you are on offense. He's improved his play running the pick and roll every year. He's excellent in transition and off cuts, and has really worked on becoming a better finisher off the screen and roll handoff.
And a chance to catch up on some numbers here. The scoring breakdown for Minnesota.
I like the work they've done at the free throw line all throughout this game. They've been the aggressors.
I've been impressed with how well they've penetrated tonight, too.
First free throw is good.
You know, one of the things that jumps out at you immediately when you look at Payton is his size. I mean, he's a 6'4" point guard who knows how to use his body and skill set to his advantage.
That one is no good.
Hey, and you know, when you're the #1 overall pick, there's some pressure that comes with that stature, and Wiggins had a lot of pressure on him because of that. Has responded well, though, and I think stardom is in this guy's future. I mean, you look at his overall game and how he's developing, a really good threat on offense, and I think he's got a chance to be all NBA defense at some point.
And they're controlling the boards, Kevin. That's +5 in that category.
And guys, you know that rebounding is a huge part, a huge component of winning games. It's not a glamour stat, but it's necessary if you're going to be a winning team.
On the wing, Wiggins takes a three. It's hauled in by the Magic. And just thinking about the maturing of Wiggins' game and how he's developed, Clark, he's shown that he can carry an offense as a perimeter player. Few can do that at his age.
Yeah, and he was able to do that in part because he was forced to. When Levine went down last season with an injury, stepped up his scoring, and I think he's only going to get better as he gets older.
Butler passes to Towns. 6 on the shot clock. Shoots over Vucevic, and once again off the mark by Minnesota.
You know, they don't score on that shot, but they're going to be happy with those kinds of possessions.
Jang dishes to Wiggins. Inside, stolen by Gordon, and Gorgie Jang is going to pick up the foul. That is his first foul of the game. Magic leading by 10. Payton with the ball. There's the feed to Fournier. Pick by Vucevic. Vucevic setting the pick for Payton. 5 to shoot. Towns knocks it away. Right side, Butler. And the dunk by Towns.
Hey, scoring off misses, that's easy buckets. Something Towns has the length and tenacity to do on a regular basis.
Orlando's gone 3 of 4 from downtown here in the fourth. Fournier sets the pick for Payton. There's the dish to Fournier. That's good. And it's Payton with the assist. Payton's got assist number 9 now. Wow, what an effort here tonight. And the Timberwolves call time here. Nice game. Great performance by Nikola Vucevic.
Absolutely on fire. They need to regroup and figure out a way to slow his roll.
And now we get the chance to present our Jordan Player of the Game, Nikola Vucevic.
And it's been a ridiculous performance in the best sense possible. I mean, everything about his game has been working. And no matter what they've thrown at him, he's had the answer.
I don't think anyone in this building saw this coming. I'm sure that of the players who these fans thought would beat them, his name was not at the top of the list. On the sideline, let's catch up with Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Hey, Kevin, well, let's summarize what Tom Thibodeau went over with his guys during the break. No surprise, he was not happy with the turnovers. He told them, we are giving this one away, guys. We've got to be more careful with the ball, play within the offense, and get good open shots. Kevin?
If they want to, they can milk the clock just a little bit here.
Yeah, that's the best option.
Payton kicks to Gordon. Here's Vucevic. And he banks in the layup. Vucevic has got 30 points.
And some guys just have a nose for scoring. And this one couldn't have been any easier.
Yeah, that was actually no defense at all there, Greg. I mean, layups don't come any easier than that. I mean, they're piling it on now.
And Evan Fournier out of France. His father was a judo champion.
And, you know, Fournier is conscious of European players' reputation for being more finesse, soft, if you will. And I think he's done a nice job being aggressive and getting himself to the free throw line by playing a more physical game.
Gentlemen,
I think at 6'7", he wants to dispel that reputation as being a finesse guy.
And he knocks down the first one. And both free throws good for Wiggins. There's 1:47 left in the fourth quarter. And out of bounds as the Timberwolves gain possession.
And that's just a risky play to make a heave like that. Not worth it.
Here's Teague. Count that one.
Excellent body control that time from Teague to feel the contact, but still be able to keep himself in position to score.
Gordon with a screen on Teague. Payton kicks to Vucevic. To the inside. And it's Gordon missing.
Oh, great effort there. That's how you defend the paint.
Exactly. Can't play it any better than that, Greg.
Goes up the baseline. Up it goes, and the Magic lead is cut down now to just 7 on the basket from Wiggins.
Hey, that mid-range area, in-between area, we call it, inside the three-point line and not at the rim, Wiggins knows he can get this shot anytime he wants.
Teague against Payton. The pass to Gordon. 6 on the shot clock. Gordon with the screen for Fournier. And stolen by Jang.
Not completely over, but it's getting close.
Yeah, this one is ready to be put on ice. Not a whole lot they can do from here. Slane and Lane all comers. Wiggins with the confidence to put the team on his back when it matters most.
And so they choose to intentionally foul. There's 38 seconds left to play here in the fourth, and that's an intentional foul. Good on the first, and that increases their lead to 6. Second one is good, hitting both at the line, and it's a 7-point game.
And as long as they can keep doing that kind of work at the foul line, this lead will be safe.
And Zhang kicks to Butler. It's tipped. Here's Towns. Unable to get that one. Great D that time from Vucevic. And they can just let the clock run out here.
Cannot argue with the W.
The Magic again can't hit.
And with the time remaining, I'm just not seeing it.
Yeah, it would take a miracle for them to come back in my mind, like Tracy McGrady against the Spurs type of heroics. A lot of points in a little bit of time.
And they need to stop the clock, so there's a foul.
Yeah, you can't let them hold the ball and just milk those last seconds away.
No, you got to foul. I mean, it's going to come down to free throws here. Foul right away.
2.
And he misses the first one. Boy, he wanted that one to fall. And he ends up making the second, and that puts them up by 5. And the Timberwolves call time here. They're behind by 5. 9 seconds left in the game. Guys, what do you think?
And they're going to have to score. Quick foul. Can't waste any time here.
Greg, one possession at a time, and really, as you said, it's all about clock management right now.
Here's Wiggins. Rebounded by Vucevic. And they go to the intentional foul. So the first one drops, and that increases their lead to 6. And the second free throw, no good. A tough break there. And so it's Orlando winning this one. A truly gutsy performance away from home.
You know, it really was. And Kevin, when this one was hanging in the balance late, they showed just what a tough-minded group they can be.
And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thank you, Kevin. With Evan Fournier. Hey, Evan, does a win like tonight's against this kind of competition show you how far you've come as a team?
Yeah, sure. You know, we obviously showing progress. But we want to be a very good team. We are very ambitious.
Nothing wrong with a little ambition, Evan. Thanks. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David. Great job. Thanks so much. Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now. For Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.